Hello everyone, my name is SiC and welcome back to Factorio. Friday saw the release of the 1.0 version, so Factorio is now officially out of early access after 8 years of development. So I figured it's about damn time that we launch our rocket. Now, I recorded a whole episode before I started this one, but I ran into a problem with the trains. I ran into a problem with my microphone. Actually, my microphone was not selected as the one to record my voice, so basically I recorded an hour's worth of content and my voice just didn't register. So I did a bunch of things and I'll just quickly run through what I did. First up, what you might see here already is I built a roundabout for my trains, because the trains that were running south, so the ones through the copper ore 1 facility here and to iron ore 3A and iron ore 3, they constantly were blocking each other. There's also another train doing the oil, so all of these, they started bumping into each other and making a mess, and I had to manually unfuck them every single time. And I built a few roundabouts, a few more intersections, and hopefully, like, it's messy, don't get me wrong, it's super messy, but hopefully this should now fix the problem, and so far it seems to do the trick. Now, this loop here is an extra that I basically had to make because I had so many railroads running through here and they were all going different ways, and it was too much work to do the whole setup differently, so I just kind of added this loop to make it work with my existing railroads. Normally speaking, I would leave this out and I would just keep this section as a blueprint, which I actually have done. I have got it, let's have a look. I've got a half one. Let's have a look there. This is the half, and then I have a full roundabout, so later on I would make this and then add trains onto that, and that should work. It was a bit of messing around, really. Took me quite some time to figure out where to place all my rail chain signals, where I would put my normal rail signals, but right now the problem seems to be fixed, which I'm very happy about. Now, meanwhile, I had run out of coal. I was no longer producing plastics because of that, and of course we need coal for smelting and other things, and the smelting was running low. Everything was becoming a bit of a problem, so I expanded. We had coal over here, the other coal that we had before completely ran out, so the only source of coal that we have right now is coming from here, coal outpost number 2. Now this is completely filled up with drills, and it just fills up the train goes up along here, follows along, goes along the top here, and then goes all the way around, and we can just follow it for a second. Goes up beyond the oil inputs, where we have our secondary oil input that we created earlier on. It goes around here and goes to the power inputs, where we had our initial power plant. We have a big attack coming in, it seems like. Wow, yeah. Big biters. Look at that though. No chance. Anyway, this one single train actually came from up here. This one went up around here to coal power up there, but I just added another train section adding onto it, and now this one supplies basically all the coal for the entire factory. I had been playing this map now for 45 hours roughly, probably 46 by now, and I completely forgot how I made the whole coal supply system work, how I had set everything up. But this one train basically puts coal essentially everywhere we need it, and everything seems to be saturated fully now, so that is perfect. So every time if this field would run out, we would just create a new field, an outpost, and we would connect that up to this to this railway, and that should fix the problem. Meanwhile, another thing that we needed to do is, well, I fixed another problem. First up, yeah. Up here we ran into the problem that we were not producing any blue computer chips anymore. The problem was we were not getting any sulfuric acid here. Now I solved that because I found a problem. Basically one of these pipes was not connected up properly. It was over in the corner here, That was weird, because I know I had been producing these things before, and oh man, why do we have these? Oh man, yeah, that's the problem we need to fix. We are making, for some reason, speed modules, and we're putting those on the belt. That is a problem I need to fix. That was something else I did. I added speed modules to the production line, but I messed it up a little bit. Another thing I did, by the way, is I added these extra 2 lines of copper ore, which is unloaded on this side of the train, and I basically added that onto other existing lines. So all of this goes up. These 2 on the right were new, and they go underneath here, and they go up here, and basically they go all the way around. So now they fill up this quite nicely as well, and that increases the production of all of our copper plates, which is very nice. And it seems like we could have a few more, or maybe a splitter up here and split it off there, because this is completely saturated now. But that's something else that I can fix in just a second. Right, so you are not producing the speed modules, you're producing the blue circuits. And you should also be producing the circuits. Now, I accidentally added these circuits in here when I put them in here. I messed that up. So now, on this belt, we will have speed modules that I need to get off. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to clean that entire belt, and I'll see you guys in a second. Well, that seems to have fixed the problem, but basically we were not making enough yellow science packs anymore, and that was because we're not getting any of these blue circuits. So now I stepped up the production of that again, but really I need more. This one single thing is not going to cut it. However, the next problem, of course, was that we need more copper to make enough copper wire, to make enough of these green belts. And we also needed enough of the advanced circuits, the red ones. And the red ones are also not being produced enough, so we were not making plastic. So basically everything kind of feeds into the same problem. And I'm thinking, yeah, we need these for the rockets, which we are trying to launch today. Which is a bit of an issue, I might say. So if we bend this one down, we can get an underground belt here. We can continue that line, and then I'm thinking we should probably connect up to these green belts up to here, so that we can feed these 2 a little bit better. And then of course, well, we don't need these at the ends. That's a bit of wasted production right there. Oh, that's much better. So these ones are producing, but not quickly enough. We can increase this. So I'm going to add speed modules to all of these things, and I'll see you guys in a second. Well, that solves our problem partially, but of course later on I should definitely do some more things to solve this problem. Anyway, another thing that I did is I built the rocket silo. So let's add a tab here saying that this is the rocket silo. And what we need is we needed rocket fuel, which we were already making, if we follow this along, over here actually, which I thought we needed for the nuclear power, but we don't. So I'm making that over here, and actually we didn't tag this, and that is a problem. So let us tag the rocket fuel right now so we can find it later on. What are we making here? We are making the power cells, nuclear power cells over here. Nuclear power over there. Right. We are not producing anything over here anymore. We can delete that one. We are producing speed modules over here. So all of these, you know, I like to do this because it makes it super easy to find things in the future. Yeah. But to launch a rocket, now let's just run over there. we needed, actually no, I can just tell it like that. We needed the fuel cells, and we need dense something, low density structures. And on top of that, we need to have rocket control units, and for that we need processing units and speed modules. So the speed modules I am now making over here, and of course we are making the blue computer chips over here. So I need to have more of these red computer chips coming over here, really. I need to basically double what we have over here, or I need to make sure that we get enough of the copper cables. Definitely need more copper cables though. How can we do that? You are not getting enough cables. How can we add on to that? Let us have a look. If we put a splitter, these are all minor tweaks, but we need to increase the efficiency of our machine, really. Alright, well that will kind of help, I think. That's a better way to do this, I'm sure, but right now I can't be bothered. I just need to have some extra of these things coming through. Anyway, yeah. Rocket control units. Let us make something similar to that one. Let us see which one we need. This one would do quite nicely, but we need some space. We don't have the space to do it up here. We might have the space to do it down here, but I kind of don't want to get in the way of anything. Oh, well, this would work. Yeah. So we would have an output on the left, inputs on the right, and we can put it up top as much as possible. Robot port is in the way, really. Ah, for the power. Alright. Yeah, the robots can make this, and meanwhile, let us connect up the stuff that we need. So let us see, we need to have these ones first of all. And we will run that along here. There we go. And then we need to have blue computer chips, which are running down here. Might be able to siphon them off over here, actually. Yeah, we can. Nice. So we'll put a splitter there, we'll get an underground belt to go over here. Oh. This will not produce very quickly, which is a bit of a problem, but for now let us just set up the system so that it works. We need to go up and to the left, and then we will have these computer chips. And then for this we will select the rocket control units. And of course, well, I don't want the yellow belts, we will upgrade all of this to red stuff, so the robots can do that for us as well. Now these things will slowly start processing. How many do we need? One. We only need one, so that's not a lot. You know, with this we can make 10 at a time for every blue thing that comes in, which is nice. It's quite slow. I might get some more speed modules up in here. And then we need to run the rocket control units over to the rocket silo. And I really do love this game, it's so cool. Let's see, how can we do that the best way? Around the right hand side, across the nuclear power, yeah, that's the best way to do it, I think. Look at that, we have our first two. There we go. Put this to the right, and now I have two of these in my inventory that I don't want to have. Well, I can put them in the rocket silo myself, I suppose. shouldn't be too much of a problem. Alright, we'll turn this around and then we'll follow the ammo downwards. Underground belt over here. Well, let's just do underground belts along all of these areas. Let's see, where else do we... around here. Alright, let me just continue setting this up and I'll see you guys in a second. Alright, well that is connected up now as well. And now we have all the parts that we need to create a rocket part. I don't know exactly how many rocket parts we are going to need. Well, let's have a look. It starts producing now. And that is 1% of the rocket done. Oh man. Alright, so we're going to need a lot of this. So that means we definitely need to step up the production of the blue computer chip. So that's exactly what we're going to do now. Meanwhile, we're just going to let the rocket produce. And we could even auto-launch this with cargo. But what we really want is what we are researching now. We are researching the space science packs. And as a result of that, we will get a satellite. And we need to make a satellite in order to get space science. And when we get space science, basically we can start doing infinite research. So the worker robot speed 6, for example, will help us with increasing the worker robot speed by plus 65%. But for that we need the white science packs, which you get from space. Look at that. So we have mining productivity, you can increase that many times over. The worker robot speed, the artillery shell range. Oh, that is pretty damn cool. I want that. The automatic and manual range of artillery gets increased. Now I wonder how much. Plus 30%. Oh man, that is super cool. Because then this base would be destroyed automatically. These bases around here probably would be destroyed automatically. That is a lot of bases that we would wipe from existence. And we would no longer need to do this every time that we want to clear an area. I kind of like doing this as well, by the way, don't get me wrong. It's kind of cool to wipe out the enemy so quickly and easily. Just, oh man, look at that. Oh. Destruction. Beautiful, beautiful destruction. Of course, it pisses off the natives. Oh, there we go. I was going to say, did I miss one right there? But no. Alright. Well, this is producing. We are still at... Yeah, this is definitely going way too slow. We need to increase the speed of that. And also, I didn't get walls auto-delivered to me anymore, but let's just finish up the wall. I opened it for myself to create a space to move through. We could do it again a few times to create some more spaces that I can run through, like right there. Alright, so we need to increase the production of the computer chips. This is always a problem for me. It seems that I always run into the problem of not having enough computer chips. Like, you need to massively step up the production of all of these things. And look at that. Like, where is this even coming from? It's from down here, which comes from up here. And we have the problem that we don't get enough copper cables. So basically every problem that we have is down to not having enough copper right now. And why don't we have enough copper right now? We are getting the train stations, or the trains, right? Are the trains blocking each other again? Yes, they are. This is a problem. And I see the problem now. Right, that is something that I am going to fix. Small problem, but I needed to change the rail chain signal with the rail signal. Basically, these needed to be reversed. This one checks what's ahead of it. So, since trains are coming from here to there, this one actually needs to block these trains. And that wasn't happening because it was only checking in this direction, which these should do, essentially. Yeah. Alright, well that's the thing, of course. So that blocked this guy from moving, which meant that we were not getting our copper anymore. So these things well, relatively small, make a huge impact. We still have some over here, but we're not getting as much as we could. And look at how quickly this is being unloaded. Pretty much 100 at a time. Boom, empty, and there he goes again. That's crazy. And then you have 100 in almost every chest, 200 in some. Basically these would empty up first because they always will have some space to unload, and these guys get blocked until these guys are finished. But that's fine because it just keeps everything moving along. Now this might actually solve our problem of not having enough copper ore again. The trains are tricky, man. They really are. And you can see, like, it's a massive impact as this stuff comes in and is divided again. All of this gets produced a lot quicker, a lot better. Anyway. Alright, well, one thing that I've been noticing in the production problems that we've been facing is that, well, all of these production of the copper cables, they were the assembling machine 1. They could not have upgrades. So I upgraded them to assembling machine 2. I added 2 speed modules to every single one, and then I noticed that these machines, even the assembling machine 1, usually had up to 8 copper cables stored in the machine, but the grabbing arms, they were orange. They were not quick enough to actually get rid of all the product. So I replaced all the inner inserters with fast inserters, and now look at the amount of copper cables that we are producing. We have full belts. That is extremely nice. Now, of course, the problem now is still the green computer chips. You can see we don't really have enough. So that is another problem that we can probably fix. I have more speed modules, so let's add just a couple of them here. And so let's have a look, where else are we producing them? All of these things can also be saved up. These guys are fast enough for now, but they could definitely be improved. So I'm going to go ahead and replace all of these as well. And the nice thing about Factorio is you can do it very quickly. Then you can get speed modules. I found out how to do this now, by the way, is you hold left control, and just like that you add the speed modules, and now every speed module basically increases the speed by 20%. So this is up to 40% speed increase. Now the question is, can our supply of resources keep up with the new production capability of our little system here? I think so, but it's something we need to keep an eye on. And now things are looking quite good. I rerouted some of the copper plates by adding splitters and routing them onto other things where, if one had too much and wasn't being used properly and the other one was getting too little, then I put a splitter there and I connected them. I added another bit of extra copper cable production up here from this top manufactory. And this is another thing. These are all the old smelters, which will produce quite slowly, I think, compared to the steel furnaces. So that's another thing that we can do. So I'm just going to go through all of our stuff and upgrade this stuff where I can, basically. And I think I'm requesting a constant supply of the steel furnaces. Yes, I am. So new ones should be brought to me by now, or they should be on their way anyway. No, I think that's just it. Alright, well, I'm going to continue making little tweaks like that and see where I can increase the productivity of my factory. But this seems to be going pretty well. Definitely still could use a few more. These are all being used for up here. Yeah, we definitely need more green circuits up here as well. The nicest thing would be that each one of these would get their own supply of circuits. But yeah, let me just have a look and see what I can figure out. Alright, well, it's time to launch the rocket. We need 2 more rocket control units and the rocket will be at 100%. I also already made a satellite which will give us 1,000 space science packs when the rocket returns or somehow sends it back to Earth. There is one. There it goes. This should be 100%. Yes, it is. It's prepared. Oh, Wait, you got the animation. Look at that. Oh, the sound is amazing. That is so cool, man. Ready to launch. Now the rocket gets an inventory. So we have the satellite right there. We will put that in there. This is another thing that of course we should automate at some point, but we have many problems. And well, this is officially the end point of the game. Like if you launch the rocket, the game basically gives you a game over screen, or well, victory screen, I guess. Gives you a lot of details. Anyway, look at this huge factory that we had to build to get to this point. 45 hours or something like that, or I guess we'll find out in a second. Let's launch this thing. Oh yes, things are happening. Oh boy. The first ever rocket that I launched by myself. And off it goes. Victory! 49 hours and 42 minutes. We killed... Holy shit. This is some genocide right here. We killed 57,686 medium spitters, 51... Well, I'm not going to go through the whole list, but it's a lot. Killed a couple of sandy rocks, some big rocks, but mostly 1105 trees we killed. Very nice. Alright, well that's it for this video. Please leave a like and a comment below if you enjoyed this content and wish to see more, or if you want me to continue this particular campaign. And I will see you guys for whatever video I do next.